What if I told you that every time you hit snooze instead of praying Fajr, every time you choose scrolling over studying, every time you surrender to laziness instead of pushing forward, you're not just failing yourself, you're turning away from the very Sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him? Because here's the raw truth. Discipline isn't just a good habit, it's a sacred tradition. And weakness? It's never forced upon you. It's always a choice. Now let's break this down, because this isn't just about productivity. This is about your connection to the Sunnah itself. Here's the thing. When most people hear discipline, they imagine military-style routines or punishing schedules. But that's not what we're talking about here. In Islam, discipline is something far more profound. It's the quiet strength of waking up for tahajjud when your body begs for sleep. It's the self-control to lower your gaze when temptation flashes across your screen. It's the patience to hold your tongue when anger burns in your chest. These aren't just good deeds. They're direct reflections of the Prophet's way of life. Now, listen closely, because the Prophet, peace be upon him, didn't just preach discipline. He lived it in ways that should shake us out of our excuses. Think about it. For 23 years, he maintained the exact same routine of worship, never missing a prayer, never neglecting his duties, never allowing fatigue or hardship to become an excuse. Even in the heat of battle, even when his own people rejected him, even when the weight of revelation physically exhausted him, he remained steadfast. That's not a superhuman trait. That's the Sunnah. And here's the uncomfortable truth. When we say, "I'm too tired to pray on time," or "I'll start tomorrow," we're not just being lazy. We're rejecting a Sunnah that the Prophet upheld in far harder circumstances than we'll ever face. But wait, there's more. Let's talk about weakness, because weakness isn't something that just happens to you. It's something you allow. Every time you say, "I can't wake up for Fajr," you've already lost. Every time you think, "Memorizing Quran is too hard," you've already quit before trying. The Sahaba didn't spread Islam across continents because they were born with superhuman willpower. They trained themselves, day by day, to obey Allah, no matter how they felt. And here's the kicker. Allah Himself tells us in Surah Al-Baqarah, Allah does not burden a soul beyond what it could bear. Not can. Could. Meaning your potential is already there, but it's buried under layers of excuses. Now, let's get real. Discipline isn't about being perfect. The Sunnah teaches balance. The Prophet, peace be upon him, rested. He joked with his companions. He enjoyed dates and honey. But here's the difference. He never let comfort become an excuse. Weakness creeps in when we start justifying our shortcomings instead of conquering them. "I'll pray later" becomes, "I'll make it up tomorrow." "I'm too busy to help others" becomes, "Someone else will do it." And before you know it, weakness isn't just a choice. It's an identity. So here's the challenge. Start where you are. Not with some unrealistic overhaul, but with one small, consistent act of discipline. If you're missing Fajr, place your alarm across the room tonight. If you're wasting hours on your phone, delete one distracting app right now. If you've been putting off Quran, commit to just one verse today, but do it with full focus. Because here's the secret. Discipline compounds. Every time you choose strength over weakness, you're not just building a habit. You're reviving a Sunnah in your life. And if this hits home, don't let it end here. Hit subscribe, because this isn't just about motivation. It's about transformation. The Ummah doesn't need more Muslims who know the Sunnah. It needs Muslims who live it. So ask yourself right now, will you choose discipline or will you choose weakness? The Sunnah is waiting. Subscribe for more.